guys, we got another episode for you. We've got our beloved 2005 CRF100 here. Everybody seems to love this bike, so we're going to do another video on it. We got a Takegawa upgraded clutch. Our stock clutch was slipping. As soon as we put a nice fresh meat on the back, it blew the clutch out of this thing. So we're going to toss this clutch on here and show you guys how to do it. So let's get at it. So we got the kit here. I'm going to show you guys what it comes with. Comes with some directions that are in Raymond Noodle, so definitely not going to need those. Where's the English option? We don't got it. Lots of parts that they sell for other stuff. Comes with a gasket, the clutch cover. Put this in my
snuck that in there, huh?
My daughter snuck this in the box and I didn't know, so got some springs, some type of spacer that I'm not gonna know where it goes because there's no directions, some gears, got your clutch discs here, so it changes it to a 5-disc clutch from a 4-disc clutch. New steels, it even tastes Japanese. Pretty nice little basket there. Sweet. Let's put it on. We're just going to crash course through this because I've never put one on, so we're going to find out today. Alright, so we got to unadjust the clutch cable first. Shoo! Be nice if I could get this off so I could see it. Oh, I guess I just won't do that. Okay, that's about as loose as it'll go. I'll see if I can get it out down here without loosening up the actual clutch cable down here. It's probably pretty easy. What do we got here? Come on. Alright, she's off. That was pretty easy. So now we got to take off these clutch cover bolts, take off the kickstart. Hopefully I can leave the brake pedal on there. That would be lovely.
Isn't there oil in it?
Nope. We already took the pleasure of draining the oil out because I guarantee you guys don't want to watch that, so can't fit the gun in there. I have to do it by hand. Pop that off. And now we will take all the exterior clutch bolts off. All right. Okay, I try to leave the bolts in the cover so you don't got to play the length game. If you can, it's great. If you can't, you can play the length game afterwards. Come on now. She's a little tight on the front. Come on, Billy. Oh.
Okay. I think I missed anything.
Okay. Huh?
Coming.
Okay, that was funky. Hallelujah! Yeah. She just doesn't want to let go of that stock clutch. I don't know why. Getting a better clutch, sweetie. So we'll just do the old swapper here. So everything stays where you want it to stay. I can tell you right now that that is from the clutch being smoked. That is for sure. Stock gasket's actually still pretty good. I might save on that. Might save on the old Takegawa gasket. Might save on it. All right, so we're gonna move on to next. After getting the cover off, we're gonna take these 4 bolts off. This is kind of like a traditional setup. Kind of want to take them off evenly as you can. Otherwise, these plates, they will crack. You don't want like a ton of spring pressure on just one of them. Take all those off. 4 springs, stock springs. We're gonna have to take this circlip off of here. Yeah, I love spring clips. Oh yeah. Come to daddy. Okay. Snap-on, strap-on pliers out here, the spring clip pliers. Oh yeah, daddy, came right off. All right, so now that you got the spring clip off, you can pull the discs and the inner hub out. Boom. 4 discs. Let's see what these look like, because this thing was really bad.
Getting thin.
Yeah, I kind of expected worse. They're really not horrible. I think just the stock clutch really can't even handle the power of the 120 kit, because that's, yeah, I mean, no real hot spots, but definitely if you dump the clutch, it was not spinning the rear tire. So, I mean, there was 100% an issue here, whether the springs aren't strong enough or whatever. It just doesn't, the stock 4 disc does not work well with any type of power adder. So now we are going to pull, there's a little washer here, and the way this works is it's got these little tangs on it, and when you put it on there, it actually turns and goes behind the slat so it can't come off. So you have to turn it and then slide it off. And then the whole clutch basket comes off. So essentially, you can't just pull the clutch basket right off when you pull the circlip off the front, because this lock washer is going to be locking that basket in there. Otherwise, you'd just be able to pull it right off. So this is pretty much what's stopping you. So there's this little button here on the end. You don't want to lose it. It's got a spring on it. It has a slot in it, and the slot goes in a pin here. There's a pin through here, and when you pull this bolt out, you're most likely going to want to make sure that that does not slide out. Mine's flat with the ground right now. I'm not going to worry about it as much, but that's all it is. That's how it stays in there, so just keep an eye on that. Okay, so now that I spun it, you can see this pin fell out on me when I pulled it out. So, I mean, look at how small this is, like our C-car parts. You do not want to lose that, because you just don't. This comes off. There's gear. There she slides. There's a spacer back here that spaces that gear out. leave that on there. You don't need to take that off. This gear will be replaced with the Takegawa kit. They give you a different gear. It is bigger, so it overdrives the pump. And then this gear is smaller than the OEM gear. So obviously the smaller it is, the faster it turns. The bigger this is, the more ground it covers, so it just overdrives the pump like a same thing as like a supercharger would on a car. So next, we're gonna pop off the oil pump. Mr. Sir Pumps a lot here. What is that, an 8? Did you deceive me? You deceived me. Okay. All right. So face comes off of there. See, very basic. There's nothing there, no scary shit, no nothing. Just comes right off, and
No springs or boings.
no springs or boings. Then this is a pretty basic idea here. This comes off. There's nothing on here. Nothing special. No washers. No nothing. And then this is keyed. Obviously, it's flat on that side and that side, so this gear can't spin on there. And so is the new Takegawa one. So this is the new Takegawa one, and this is the stock one, Takegawa one. You can see the size difference here. So obviously this one's smaller. So, you know, rule of thumb for me, I always put part numbers facing out. I really don't think there's a difference here because they've got both edges of the gear beveled. It's the same thing really either way, but just for me, I always put part numbers out. That is a tight fit. That's not what I want there. Oh boy. Doesn't go. Shit. Couple fits in a keyway in there though. I don't want to take the pump out. See it?
Yeah.
And now it's slid down. Motherfucker! See if I can fish it up. And hopefully it stays there. So I know many of you probably don't believe that I own a torque wrench, but Johnny has been slowly converting me, and I've got a real nice one. This one's Matco. It should get this job done real nicely. 5 Newton meters. So we're gonna set this to 5 Newton meters. Okay, right there. Bob's your uncle. And we're going to need 5/16. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's so satisfying.
That is very satisfying. This is a nice one. Oh. Okay, so that is taken care of. Now, we need to put this gear on. This is the one from Takegawa. Again, part numbers out. Get these to mesh with each other and slide it on. Oh, that was sweet. See how the mesh is perfect on there? Takegawa don't make no BS. The good stuff. Alright. I even have a second torque wrench. That's how big of an influence Johnny is on my life. It's only Craftsman, but it'll do the job. Alright, so the nut's on. Now, I gotta put this pin back in, but the pin is up and down right now, and it's gonna be a nightmare to try and put the pin in there and then slide the nut back on without the pin falling out. So I'm gonna put the nut back on there. I'm gonna use it to turn it until that's sideways. So it'll be easier to put the pin in. And then this isn't very tight now, so I can spin it back off with the impact without hopefully moving this or smashing my fingers. So slide this pin right back in here. You'll see that. There we go. Get in your home. There you go. So that's right back in there. We're good. Flip that around. Felt better that way. All right. Now, before I torque this, we're gonna wait to put the clutch basket back on. And I'm gonna show you guys a little trick with a penny as a gear jammer, because copper is softer than what these gears are made out of. So you can jam gears with this and it works great. So the next thing on, look at this beauty. Yeah, buddy. By the way, I bought this whole kit from David over at Keystone Cycle and Parts. I can't remember if I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but I did buy it from him, and he actually did have the best price on it. It was $350 most places I looked. I think it was $285 through him. So I'm pretty excited about that. You can also buy this kit with the die cast cover. It just gets really pricey with the die cast cover, and I may purchase it someday, but I have the Cerakoted cover and I actually really like the way that it looks, so I decided to not go with the die cast cover. So the next piece you're going to put on, Takegawa provides this little spacer washer piece. It's a little thick, little washer pretty much. This goes right in there. And then what goes on after that is your OEM lock washer. So it slides on here, turn it, and then it's locked, so none of this can come off. Next, we've got Takegawa's inner hub set up. Look at how nice that is. Really well machined. It's a beautiful part. Absolutely beautiful. This old girl slides right in there. Alright, so we've got the friction discs in oil here. I use the Takegawa bag. Pretty easy to just cut it nicely and dump your oil in there. To let them soak, you want to soak the clutch discs before you put them in. So, friction disc first. Boom. Then you need your steels here. They even make strong bags. Slide a friction disc on there. Or well, that's a steel plate. I guess that's not a friction disc. Slide your steel plate on there. Another friction disc. Try and keep these all lined up, because when you go to slide it back in the basket, it just makes it easier. Another steel. Another friction disc. Another steel. Friction disc. One more steel here. And then your last friction disc. Now I'm so cheap, I usually pour this back in the bottle, you know? So I'm gonna save on that for later. Okay. All right, now, as you can see, this is keyed as well. So you're gonna slide this in here. Oh man, it doesn't usually go that easy. You usually gotta play with it a little bit to get it all to line up. I'm gonna take this, make sure that all these are kind of lined up here. All right. Now I'm going to take this and we're going to slide it in here. It's going to be a little challenging. You got to do some wiggling. Oh, she's not keyed into the back anymore. There we go. I think we're keyed in. Yep. You'll know if you're all the way sucked down because you can't put the spring clip in there if you're not. So take your little spring clip. Takegawa provides it. Nice freshy. Come on. Hands are all oily. She'll lock in there. Just make sure that's all the way in there. Just kind of go around with your tool here. Yep. So we're good there. That's all the way back in. All right. So now that we have this back on, we're gonna jam this with the penny so that we can torque down this, which is 29 foot-pounds. The extension, eh? Okay, so this isn't gonna be super fun because there's kind of not a lot of space here. Okay. So let that happen. See the penny in there? So now that is torqued and you're good to go. On that, we will put our button back in here. Don't forget that. Then Takegawa provides these springs for you, which hopefully don't make the clutch rock solid. Those four going in there right like that. OEM plate goes back on. What's the torque master?
We actually don't have a torque spec on here for it.
No torquey.
So, say just full send with the impact.
Full send with the impact, copy that. Definitely not gonna full send. So you just kind of want to, again, get them evenly down so not any which one is holding all the pressure. And as Johnny said, they don't give you a torque, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of hand job and make sure they're tight. These are pretty small bolts. You don't want to go too crazy on them. Okay, so that part's done. All right, while you're in here, you can check your screen right here. Make sure there's nothing funky going on in there. You can see there's some clutch fibers in there, most likely. So clean that out.
Just make sure there's no big chunks.
Yeah, no big chunks or anything in there. Hit it with some brake clean. Mine's pretty clean, so that catches pieces before they go into the oil pump. Slide that back in there. Now we are ready to put this back on. Now I'm gonna wipe this clutch material stuff out of the bottom here. I don't really want to spray this cover with brake clean because it's got the Cerakote on it. I'd rather not. So I'm just going to wipe this out the best that I can. Easiest way is to get some of these bolts kind of lined up, especially the ones that go in the dowel pins here. Make sure your dowel pins are in there, that they didn't come out in the cover or fall out or anything. That's very important, obviously. All right, now these, just kind of get them snug evenly. Don't like crank one down before tightening all the other, snugging all the other ones down. You kind of want to snug them all down together. And now I will do this by hand. Start with the middle, work your way out to the corners. Pretty easy job, honestly. I've never installed a Takegawa clutch kit on one of these. I've obviously done an CRF100 clutch, but I've never installed the Takegawa kit itself. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to figure out, even when the directions are in Raymond Noodle. You can go online and I think you can find the directions in English, or you can use a translator.
Yeah.
You can take a picture and put it in Google and use a translator to translate it. So we will put the actual clutch cable back on here, which isn't super fun, but that's pretty much it there. And we'll see if we can tighten it up there. Try not to swag your $2,000 swing arm with the ratchet. Now you're going to come up here to where we started. You kind of want about like small amount of play in the clutch. You don't want it to be like right on it. I like about that much. That feels pretty good. Definitely the more pressure than stock, but it's still pretty easy. Probably want to have a full clutch lever for these instead of the shorties. I really love the shorties. I love the way they look. I have them on a lot of my bikes, but at the end of the day, you'll get less arm pump if you have a longer clutch lever, because it's easier. I don't want to get my grips all oily, but it's just easier with the longer clutch lever.